Yo, what's going on, guys? It is your boy Pup. We are back for week 8 of the PPDL Little Cup Plus Draft League. This week we are facing off against Darkness and their Devilish Zoroark. They are in a spot where they basically need to win to make it into the playoffs. Maybe at 3 and 5 it's possible based on how the standings are looking, but it's a really tight race for 6 spots in a 12-team league. So it's pretty tough. Right now we're at 6 and 1 plus 19, so we're perfectly fine. At this point, if I win, then I definitely get a first round bye since we beat Jamal last week. If I lose, then if Jamal loses, then we get a first round bye. Or if Cart drops 2, I'm pretty sure we guaranteed get it based on differential, as long as we don't lose by too much. Well, I guess that's, it's not a big deal. We're gonna win. We're gonna get our bye. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, they have a really scary team headed by Elekid, really fast Pokemon. Grookey is a very solid Pokemon as well, with nice priority in Grassy Glide and just a great Eviolite user in general since it has the grassy terrain to recover. And they have Growlithe, which has Intimidate support, also a nice little, just very potent mon and hitting very hard with those fire type moves that I don't switch into too well on my team. They have Terra Eevee with adaptability, makes it really hard to switch into that Pokemon. I have seen them use, I think, like Throat Spray, Hyper Voice sort of stuff earlier this season, so that could be super cool. Satoddle is annoying. Belly Drum set is like really tough for me to deal with, getting back to like full HP with an Oranberry sort of thing, because then they hit super hard with Ice Shard, which my team doesn't switch into very well. They also have Scraggy, which I'm really worried about as a Moxie sweeper, but it also could be an Intimidate, more pivot sort of Pokemon, but they've been using it as a sweeper. It's like the #1 kill leader so far. And then they also have a Galarian, a Slowpoke, which is just a nice regenerator Pokemon that we actually lost to in the finals of our last Little Cup Draft League. But the first Pokemon on my team is going to be Delibird. Like always, I'm bringing Delibird every week. It's just so good into every single matchup with the dual stabs. And then this week we have Drill Run on top of that to be able to hit the Growlithe. It also hits the Elekid, but we're never going to stay in on that Pokemon because they are faster and just destroy me. We have the Clear Amulet since they have 2 Pokemon on their team that can have Intimidate. Most likely it's going to be that Growlithe that we can just punish with the Drill Run as well. But we can hit their team pretty hard with Triple Axle. They don't have a great switch in if they don't bring like Terra Water Eevee, or potentially Oshawott would be able to switch in. Obviously Satoddle resists as well, being an ice type, but I don't think it really wants to take it. Especially not into a Brave Bird. Their whole team basically just gets destroyed by the combination of my dual stabs. And we're max speed just to outrun the Grookey. If they do run max speed on that, I don't anticipate the Dreepy coming. I don't know if they've brought it to a game. And it doesn't have that good of coverage. It's basically just a Draco Meteor bot, but it is pretty fast, which makes it a little bit potent versus my team. But we have Tinkatink in the back, so that's nothing to worry about. So Delibird should really just go ham against them if we're ever able to get it on the field. My second Pokemon is going to be a Choice Scarf Mudbray. This is my designated lead for the week. I feel like they're going to lead with the Growlithe or the Elekid just to counter my Delibird that I've been leading a lot. I've been leading a lot of like Fake Out variants or just like, Focus Sash sort of stuff versus the other teams, so I feel like Mudbray just catches their leads really nicely. High Horsepower is here with Earthquake. If Grookey is gone, then we can click Earthquake, but if not, we have to click High Horsepower. 5 less base power and 5 less base accuracy, which is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Still one-shots both Elekid and Growlithe, and I will outspeed both of them with our speed tier. But on that first turn, if I lead with Mudbray into a Growlithe or a Elekid, I'm just going to click like Heavy Slam or Stone Edge no matter what. Maybe into Elekid I would click High Horsepower, but into Arc or into Growlithe I would probably click Heavy Slam or Stone Edge just to predict that Grookey coming in, because I feel like it should always come in and try to take the EQs that can come from me. Next up on the team is going to be our Terra Captain, Terra Fairy Jangmo, with our first Eviolite on the team. Terra Fairy Terra Blast is very free into their team. They have 0 resist besides that Growlithe, which is not really the best resist. Obviously, they can Intimidate cycle me. I do think I should be able to take care of it with other Pokemon on my team. But we can Dragon Dance all over it if they do have a Will-O-Wisp and they click that against me. Then we click Facade versus their team. And they also have no resist for Facade besides the Dreepy, who's immune, that gets destroyed by Dragon Claw even if we're burned. So I feel like this Pokemon goes really crazy in this game. I'm really excited to use it, and hopefully we get a chance to set up since I haven't really had that many opportunities to sweep this so far in this league. Number 4 on my team, I needed a Pokemon that counters the, what is it called? Scraggy. Basically, Scraggy, it Dragon Dances and it gets Moxie Boost and it destroys and it has Drain Punch, so it always keeps its HP, everything like that. So I needed to bring my Bonsly with Sturdy and Counter. Just destroys it. They have no hazards on their team whatsoever. I don't think they have a single hazard setter at all. Maybe Stealth Rock Hapini, which I just wouldn't let happen personally. But yeah, that's like the only hazards that they have on their side, so I didn't think I needed heavy duty boots. So we ran Custat Berry just so I can potentially get a Rock Blast or maybe a Spike Up after I take care of that Scraggy. It's basically Bonsly is only going to be used for that because it's so threatening versus my team. But if it goes down early, then I can use it for something like Citadel that can also be a huge threat, or Grookey, who will also try to one-shot me with a big Wood Hammer or Grassy Glide, and we'll get one shot back with Counter. In the 5th spot is my second Eviolite user, being Ekans this week. Just a great defensive Pokemon, being able to check Grookey decently well. Obviously, if we take a knockoff, that's not the best, but it's also nice into the Scraggy because I don't think they're going to be Shed Skin, so we can click Glare versus them, or Haze to get rid of the Dragon Dance boost and Moxie boost. We also have the Intimidate ability, obviously, which makes us able to switch into the Scraggy, makes us able to switch into the Citadel, Physical Eevee, Growlithe, Grookey. It's really nice versus their entire team, and nothing on their side really wants to take a Gunk Shot since they don't have a Steel type. They don't have another Poison that would be able to resist, so we basically just destroy them. Technically Dreepy does resist, but it also just dies and it takes a knockoff. Knockoff is really nice for Eviolites because I do feel like those are the type of Pokemon that would want to potentially switch into this guy, maybe like a Slowpoke that has that Eviolite, so we can knock it off, get it out of the way early on in the game. And then last but not least, I needed a Pokemon that was a little bit better into the Elekid. I don't have too many good special walls, and I'm also worried, especially about Terra Normal on Eevee. I just feel like that extra adaptability boost with Terra could be scary. So we have our Tink here, very specially defensive. There's a lot of Fizz Def as well if we need it for something like the Grookey or the Citadel. But Drain Kiss, Foul Play, Thunder Wave, and Stealth Rock. Normally I've been running Knockoff, but I think Foul Play is a little bit better in this game because it does a lot of damage to the Grookey, does a lot of damage if they're physical Eevee, and it does a ton of damage to the Elekid because I anticipate them to be somewhat mixed so they can press Ice Punch into my Mudbray. Stealth Rock is decent versus their team. It's not necessary by any means, but it's really nice just to be able to chip down their squad a little bit, especially because that Citadel is very threatening with Belly Drum, and the Growlithe is annoying too. But yeah, we're mostly just clicking like Foul Play or Thunder Wave with this Pokemon, and should be able to maybe pick off something and at least just be able to wall the Elekid so it can't sweep my team if we don't pick it off with the Mudbray super early off in the game. But that's going to be about it for the team. I hope you guys enjoy the Little Cup content, and let's get right to the battle. Alright, what's going on, guys? We are here facing off against Darkness. They didn't bring their Terra Captain Eevee. The rest of it was very expected. The Scraggy's obviously scary, Growlithe, Grookey, Elekid, Slowpoke, and the Citadel. The Citadel was the thing that I thought might not come for that Eevee, but that's totally fine with me. I do really like Mudbray into a potential lead from either the Growlithe or the Elekid, because we were Choice Scarfed, we can out prioritize, but then they might just go out to Grookey anyways. I mean, we do have an Eevee like Ekans that might be able to take that on, which is actually a decent lead versus basically their entire team. But I might want to keep the HP on that Pokemon. I don't know. Delivered is really good, and I normally lead it. That's why I feel like we're either going to see a Growlithe or a Elekid lead. So that's kind of why I'm going to go with Mudbray here. It could bite me in the butt, but if they go Grookey, then I think I can go out to Ekans and be able to tank a hit. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. We're playing this game very early, actually on my birthday. But you guys won't see it for another like 2-ish weeks. We're playing it during week 7. I already played my game against Jamal. Darkness has not played their game. Their week 7 game. They're gonna play it right after. But this could be for the playoffs for them. For me, if I win, I automatically get a first round bye in the playoffs. If I lose, then if Jamal loses, then I will get a bye. Well, let's see. They are gonna lead with the Growlithe here. All right, so it's a good lead for me. I'm assuming we're gonna see Intimidate. We do. Okay. Let's see. Growlithe. I mean, they're gonna get that Intimidate off on me. I still feel like a high horsepower does a ton of damage. On the switch to Grookey, though, when they pivot out to that Pokemon, it's a potential 2-hit KO with Heavy Slam. I think I want to predict it off the bat. Stone Age is also a good move here. I mean, I guess if we're -1, we're not really doing that much anyways. Maybe I go Ekans here, but then they know that we're Scarfed based on us switching first. I'm going to go for the Heavy Slam here. As they do withdraw, this should be Grookey. I'm -1. Yeah, they do send in the Grookey. So we're going to get some damage off on this Pokemon, get to see if it's Eviolite or not. So the right idea there, at least. Let's see. That's a lot of damage. That is not quite 50%, but a good chunk. Before that grassy terrain, it did, what, 25, 30, 35, 40, just over 40%. So they're not Eviolite on this Pokemon. That's a middling roll for no Eviolite and just a little bit of bulk investment. All right, we're going to go out to Ekans. I feel like this thing could be choice banded. That's kind of what I'm worried about right now. Grassy Glide would hurt. So we're going to go out to our Ekans, get this Intimidate off on them. And we'll see. They're just going to knock off. So great predict from them. It did 4 damage to me, which means they're not banded. Not banded. And maybe Scarfed, but we have no item anymore. Which is unfortunate, but we get basically a free Glare off here. We could also knock off whatever they would want to go out to. I think Glare is a little bit better. I mean, knockoff is so free. I guess knockoff is insanely free versus them. I'm going to go for the knock here. They should predict the poison move. I don't know exactly what they would want to go out to. Maybe the Growlithe. Okay. So they do go out to that Growlithe. They're going to get Intimidate off on us. So we'll see how much we do to them with this knock. It's not very much. They had a Covert Cloak. Interesting. So it looks like they're a little bit Fizz Def at least. Gunk Shot should do a lot of damage to them if we want to use this Pokemon up here. Yeah, Covert Cloak lead is a good idea versus, like, I've been bringing Fake out a lot. I think Glare could be really nice to basically get rid of this Pokemon. But also, its speed tier is not the best into my team. I think Gunk Shot, as long as we hit it, we're in a decent spot. We should do about 50% to them. Because they're going to Flame Charge. It's just 7 damage. And we do hit the Gunk Shot, which is great. I wish I would have glared versus them looking at that damage. They're probably just max attack. If they are Flare Blitz on top of that, it will easily take me out here. What should we do? What's the play? I mean, I could go out to Mudbray here, but I might just let this Pokemon go down. We'll go for the Glare on them, as they're going to Morning Sun, so great play for me. That's great. They are Flame Charge Morning Sun, which is really interesting. But they're paralyzed. I'm assuming that they're probably just like Jolly sort of set. And at this point, I think I can go out to my my Mudbray. It will take a lot of damage, I think. I do think Mudbray would take a decent chunk. Yeah, it would take a lot to a Flare Blitz coming out here. But we're always outspeeding them. And we can throw off high horsepower, which will hurt the Grookey, since we know they're not Eviolite. Yeah, they're going to Flame Charge again. So they're +2 speed. That did 7 damage. So yeah, just like max attack. We're going to get a stamina boost, so we should always be able to live whatever hit they might want to go out for here. I'm just going to go for high horsepower. We do hit. We should knock them out. Perfect. That's just great. No predicting. You know, I don't want to get fancy with it. We just take out that Growlithe. That was a threat. And we're chilling here at +1 defense. I mean, even Grookey. They're not Eviolite. And they can't knock me out with Grassy Glide. Woodhammer would knock me out, but high horsepower into Woodhammer Recoil would probably be able to knock them out. So they're going to send out the Scraggy. And they're Moxie. Scraggy, I mean, probably Eviolite on this Pokemon. High horsepower has the potential to two-shot them still. So I'm going to go for it. So yeah, that is a lot of damage. As they're Trailblaze. So it depends. If they're max speed Adamant, it's a speed tie here. I mean, it's definitely in my favor, or in my best interest to go for it. Let's go. We live on 1 to that Drain Punch. That's huge. That is huge. That's that stamina boost, baby. Get a high horsepower off, and we do just knock him out. We get the high roll on that one. Oh, that's what you love to see right there, man. I mean, it's like 12, 13, or 15 for our rolls. So, very, very happy with that. Zaki comes in here and has the potential to potentially Sword Stance, which would be really scary versus my team. I do have the Bonsly in the back. I'm just going to go out to Ekans, get the Intimidate off on this Pokemon. They also might just be Choice Scarf. And I don't know at this point. But we're going to get the Intimidate off. Let's see. Yeah, they're just going to Glide. It did 3 damage to me. That's like nothing. Grassy Glide did 3. Alright, and we have the freest Gunk Shot here. I think Knockoff is even very free versus their team. We've taken out basically 2 of their biggest threats. We're just going to send off this Knockoff here. They do withdraw. I'm thinking we might see the Slowpoke come out. So we plug. So that's the Elekid. Great. We don't have to worry about a Choice Scarf on this Pokemon or anything like that. It's 50%. And we get the Static. It's a little bit unfortunate, but it's not that big of a deal. No more Life Orb for that Pokemon. That's great. Do we call them out and go hard Mudbray here? I think they should go for the safer play and go for the Electric type move. They could Ice Punch here if they really want, but they think that they outspeed us probably. I don't know if they know we're Choice Scarfed. But if Mudbray goes down here, it's not that big of a deal, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think we see Volt Switch. No, they Psychic. So, I mean, it's a good mid-ground play for them. I mean, it's just the best play, I guess. Elekid, they're no item, just at 50%. I'm really curious. You know, they might be no HP EVs. And if they were, Ice Shard still would not quite be able to pick up KO on them. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go out to Tinkatink here. We'll go Tink. If they T-Bolt, it should more than likely... actually... No, it probably won't even take me down to my berry. I think we can Foul Play. It looks like it's a roll to kill them. That's looking at like a naive. It looks like it would be about a 50-50. We could also Draining Kiss just to be extra safe. But if they do want to switch here, I think Foul Play is just great. As they do T-Bolt. See, they get a big crit on me. But I mean, we're gonna get our Oran Berry off. And that did 16 damage. So we could potentially die to a T-Bolt. But we do take them out. So perfect. That's great. No more Berry, but also no more Elekid. And we are sitting in a very, very good spot at this point. I feel pretty confident. We don't have to worry about any like crazy EV stuff going on since they didn't bring it. No Terra Captain. So they're going to bring out Sweeper. Satotl. Okay. Yeah, this Pokemon is scary. Satotl. EQ. In the grassy terrain, I don't know if this will knock me out. No, it should never knock me out. Our play is always... what is our play always? Foul Play is a good play. I also really like Thunder Wave here. I think I'm going to go for T-Wave. We do hit. That's good. I was really worried about missing. That's basically all I was worried about, if I'm going to be honest. We should live in EQ. Yeah, because of the grassy terrain, we should live Adamant. Yep, they did 13. So they're Life Orb. Okay. Life Orb does 13. That makes sense. Even if they're max attack. Yeah. There goes the terrain. I could set up Stealth Rocks and get a little bit of extra chip damage if they ever decide to switch this thing out. But I'm not that worried about this Pokemon. I do have Bonsly that just comes in for free afterwards. I could also even go Ekans to get the Intimidate off, but I'm a little bit worried about a potential, about whatever they might want to do. I'm just going to Foul Play this Pokemon. They're going to Ice Shard. We should live. Wow. That did 4 damage. I guess it always does. Never mind. Because they're adamant. Alright. So that's fine for them. We're just going to go out to Bonsly here. We are always sturdy to up. So it should be fine. Even EQ doesn't take me down to sturdy. And is the better play to counter or to Rock Blast here? Rock Blast has a chance to miss, but if they Belly Drum, it puts me in a really tough spot. I do think counter is the right play, though. There's no way they swap, right? They're also paralyzed. If they're max speed, this is a speed tie. If they're not max speed, then we outspeed them. I think I'm going to go for the Rock Blast, as they're going to withdraw, so I'm really glad I didn't go for counter there. They're going to go out to the Grookey. This thing is going to take a lot of damage. Yeah, if we hit this, they're probably just dead. We're not loaded dice or anything. Yeah, we hit 1. We need 3. Oh no, they're Oranberry. I'm assuming that's Oran. Okay. So they're Oran. That's good prep on their part. Only 2. Not the biggest deal. And if they want to attack me, I can just click counter this turn. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the counter. They're going to Woodhammer. Yeah. All right. Well, this guy is gone. We live on with that sturdy, which is great. They're going to get damaged by recoil. We're going to counter. Goodbye, Grookey. Get taken out by a little tree guy. And this is going perfect. This is going right to plan. If they bring out Satotl, I might swap. I mean, we could Sucker Punch this Pokemon. What's the best option here? Because they think that they're going to Ice Shard me, right? That's always their play. Is to click Ice Shard. I think as soon as Jangmo gets in, I'm free. But it really depends on what kind of speed investment they have going on. I'm going to Rock Blast. We're going to eat the Custap. We'll see if we win the speed tie or if they are just fast. They get fully paralyzed. That's great. So they might have just been max speed. Or they just want a speed tie if they were adamant. Which, looking at the damage, it looked like they were adamant. Let me look at that again. I want to see if the roles actually changed at all, if they're adamant or Jolly Life Orb. On that Tink Tink. I don't really think it mattered. So they might have been, I mean, no matter what, even if they're Jolly, it's a speed tie there. But they got Fatty out right now. I think we just click Sucker Punch versus this Pokemon. Slowpoke Galar. I am a little bit worried that this Pokemon could potentially be like some sort of setup set. But worst case, I think we can glare them with Ekans and be in a decent spot. So I will Sucker. They do attack. We get a good chunk of damage off on them as they're Surf. All right. That did. They're definitely Eviolite, right? Eviolite and Fizz Def is what it looks like to me. How much damage does Delibird do? Not enough. Not even close to enough. I think we can go out to Jangmo and be okay. I think we Terra Fairy. And we just click Terra Blast a couple times. Or we could go Ekans and knock off the Eviolite. We're paralyzed. I think we just go Jangmo because we are Eviolited on this Pokemon. I am not sure what kind of coverage this guy wants to hold, but I think we just go Terra Fairy, Terra Blast like 2 or 3 times. And then if we need to, then we clean it up with a Delibird clicking Brave Bird. I guess they could also be Slack Off on this Pokemon. which makes it a little bit more interesting. Especially if they do have like a poison move, a sludge bomb. We could have been bulletproof for that. So we do basically nothing. And they're gonna T-Wave. So T-Wave Surf. T-Wave Surf. I assume they're not gonna do very much damage to me no matter what. No more grass is nice. And we're paralyzed. We can click Facade. Facade just does the same mount. I'm gonna DD up once. Yawn. Interesting. That is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. We might be able to knock them out with a Terra Blast now. I was just afraid if they had Slack Off. It looks like this is a roll. It can do... it might not be able to take him out. It's hard to see the rolls in Little Cup sometimes. We don't get fully paralyzed, which is real nice. And we're going to hit him pretty hard. They live on 1. Are they Slack Off? No, they're Psyshock. Okay, great. So Jangmo-O can pick up this final KO. It actually did a little bit more damage to me than I expected. I'm going to show off the Facade tech, but we're going to pick up a 3-0 victory over Darkness, cementing our spot in the top 2 of playoffs. Really awesome. We are going to take a little bit of a break since I'm not playing next week, because this is my next week game. I'm not playing in the first week of the playoffs. I mean, you guys will only get 1 week of downtime. But yeah, that was a really, really nice, clean game. I feel like I just played really solid. The Ekans was really, really necessary in this game. And I think I played well with the Mudbray as well, you know. Got a little bit lucky living that Drain Punch from Scraggy, but no matter what, I had the counter tech in the back. So I would have been fine. I also did still have Haze in the back if I needed that. But yeah, great game. Make sure you guys go check them out. I will try to link their channel in the description, but that's going to be about it for me. If you guys do enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.